listen. Now, I'm hearing shit going on. You know, I reached out, because Floyd was talking a whole lot of nothing about Terrance Crawford and Errol Spence. He was talking more about him and his his accomplishments and what he have done, and so I reached out to Coach Malachi yesterday. We was chopping it up. I called him and I was explaining some stuff and how it's easy to forget. Well, you know what? Let's go through it and then I'll give you my opinion, right? It's just an opinion, like a fart in the wind. And if you like the opinion, you like it. If you don't, just press dislike. And if you like it, just press the like button. But it's an opinion that I'm not really hearing from a lot of people. So let's listen to what Coach Malachi had to say when he speaks to Captain Full from Brooklyn.
Caller, what's the name when you call from?
Captain Full G from Brooklyn.
Man, Captain Full G, talk to me, fam.
What's going on, man? Now, I made a video about this, the best ever versus the Everlast. And what I did was I went to the public and I asked a lot of people who is better, who is greater. And let me give you an example. I went to about 6 kids in a group, about teenagers, and only one said Muhammad Ali. Now I got Muhammad Ali, of course. I'm 50 years old. I got Muhammad Ali. I asked the old school, they said Muhammad Ali. When I asked the young kids, they said the best ever was Mayweather. And only one said Muhammad Ali. So I learned something. What I learned was that time forgets. And time changes. Time gets superficial. This is a fast gratification. It's more about money. So when I heard that everybody said Floyd, I was like, damn, this generation's about.
So, back to the question. Who you think is better, Muhammad Ali or Mayweather? Muhammad Ali, Mayweather? That's a new generation like me. That's Muhammad Ali. But you think Muhammad Ali? Well, I think Mayweather. Okay. Go along. All right, next time, bro. All right. You see what I'm saying? That's the young generation, see? So look at it. It's not a group. It's your cat. Mayweather. Who you think is better, Mayweather or the greatest, Muhammad Ali? I go the greatest. You go the greatest. See what I'm saying? Like, you know when I went outside and I asked all those kids, you know what they said? They said Mayweather. That's what they don't know. They don't know. So it's all about different generation gaps. There you go.
Yeah. Question. I mean, those are kids, and they grew up in that Floyd Mayweather era. They don't know anything before Floyd, so that's understandable. That's understandable that they didn't mention Ali because that's all they know. But if they do some research and understand and see how it was, they don't know any better. So I get that. They get past me. They don't know any better. They don't know.
Exactly. And the thing about Terrance Crawford, having 11 knockouts. I think he had 8 in the welterweight division. Lindell 3 times, undisputed twice. 40. I mean, he's 30. What is he? He's 40-0, right? And even if he had a great record, I think that superficial generation right now will still think that Mayweather is on the top. I still think that Mayweather is 49-0 because, McGregor ain't nobody. He just got a boxing license and shit. So, it's the eye of the beholder, and the longer the generation goes, we could argue that Muhammad Ali is the best, but then when you hear a whole bunch of people say Floyd, you in the twilight zone. And I understand it, but
it's not an argument. It's really not even an argument. To answer your question, you're talking about young kids. You just said you interviewed kids. They don't know shit about boxing, and they came out watching Floyd Mayweather, so that's all they know. If that's all they know,
right,
then so in order to go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you wrap
up. No, but Coach, what about when our generation dies out? They stuck with that Floyd shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when Muhammad Ali was coming up and they compared him to Joe Louis or any of the old fighters, but then that generation died out, and now the generation like me talk about Muhammad Ali, and now the next generation. So it's just really scary at times erases greatness.
They always gonna talk about Ali, because when you think about boxing, you think about Ali. That's Ali's always going to be there. You know what I mean? Like when you think about boxing, you think about Ali. But shout out to Captain 4G. We got other calls calling in, fam. Salute. Y'all please subscribe. Salute, fam.
So as you can see, what I was telling you, go subscribe to Coach Malachi. Love his channel. And I could adapt to him because we're in the same age bracket, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, no young whippersnapper could tell me more than I know, because I lived in my generation, right? And I'm living in your generation, and I can compare. You gotta wait till you get older to compare your generation to the new generation. But until then, I'm wise. Still look young. It's not cocky, it's confident, and still strong at 50. So right now I'm at my prime, feeling good. But if we go back, see, this is what I was trying to say. But you know what? One of the young dudes spoke to Coach Malachi, and he was listening to what I was saying. And the key is research. Let me go back to Coach Malachi and let you listen to this.
I was just listening to the last caller, and you talk, and I kind of get where you going with the young kids, or the young kids, when you going with the young kids, because I'm 28, so like I ain't started following boxing probably the last 3 years, like really heavily paying attention to it. And if you'd have asked me 3 years ago, somebody would have said Ali better than Floyd, I probably was like, I don't know, man, like Floyd nice too, but like you said, all it takes is a little bit of research and studying to look at that shit, and you quickly see like some of these guys from today, the guys back in the day, they was different, man. Like I was just watching a clip of Roberto Duran and Nigel, and man, Roberto Duran was going to work on Nigel, and I'm like, oh, ain't no lightweight in this era right now, last 10 years, probably 15 years, putting hands on Duran.
So the 28 young lad said, all you got to do is some research. So I'm glad that that man listened to what I said. And he said, listen, I was listening to what that Captain Fool, he didn't know my name. But research. What kind of generation we living in? Fast gratification, microwave oven. We want it. Now, when I was growing up, I had an encyclopedia and I had a dictionary. And you know, you had to go in books to look and find. And that was a lot of work. And it's so, like I said, this is bizarre world. See, I'm spoiled now. I could go online. I got Google. At 50 years old, I knew how hard it was. I was growing up with a phone with a landline. Right? Y'all have phones. We got phones now. We doing everything on our phone. Right? But I'm spoiled now because I could just say Google, blah, 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 blah. And I get all my information, where I knew back then it was so hard, but I had to do it. I had to look in the encyclopedia. I had to look in a dictionary. Right? So all is the key that young lad said was research. Now, let's be honest. If we living in a generation that don't want to do research because we are so spoiled that we have it in the palm of our hands. We have it in the palm of our hands, but we don't do research. You know what we do? We go to channels like mine, Coach, Blue, Best Fight the Best, Knockout, and we could listen to good stuff and we could listen to bad stuff, depending on the personality and depending on the intellectual and the IQ of the person and how far they want to go. Right? But this generation, will rather go listen to other people, tell them opinions and facts. And they have to decide, depending if they like the person, the way they tone, the way they look, the way they present it. But it could be propaganda. You see all the propaganda they did on Crawford? You see that, right? And they are the thriving channels. They are the largest channels, right? So you got to be careful. That's why I always do my own research. That's why I always listen to the good and the bad, the yin and the yang and the yang, whichever way you decide you want to call it. You still got to look at it in the middle and say, let me listen to both sides. But this generation don't have that time. They ain't got that time for research. So who overlooks? Which one is larger? The casuals or the boxing fanatics? Because the young boxing fanatics will do their research. Young boxing fanatics that love boxing will look at documentaries on Joe Louis, Armstrong, Muhammad Ali, Willie Pep. They will look at this. Duran, like the man said. I looked at Duran and damn, he was putting in work, right? Those people, but they won't be the majority. They'll be the minority. They'll be the minority. And the majority will be the casuals. So when you go up and say, in this generation, who's better, Muhammad Ali or Floyd? You're going to get Floyd. I'm just letting you know right now. When I die off, when my father that's 80, he dies off. When I die off and the new generation comes up, it's only what you remember. Remember human nature is what you remember last. All those black and white films, I don't remember. Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali fighting 15 rounds. 15 rounds? That's a lot. Well, back in the past, it was more rounds than that. But we don't think about that. But the boxing fanatics do. The boxing fanatics do. So what I realized that time erases greatness. Time erases greatness. It is what it is, man. So when I hear Floyd going on and talking about, yeah, I accomplished this. Now all of a sudden accolades and belts and titles mean a lot. It means so much now. Oh man, it means so much when it's time to show that I'm going to keep reminding you that I'm on top of time. What time it is? It's TBE time. The best ever. What time it is? Right. So when you see somebody like Crawford that's two-time undisputed. Crawford, Mayweather never did that. 40-0. Was it 3-time lineal? Right? What else? Man, I could go with all the accomplishments, right? But you can look at Crawford and you can look at Mayweather, and people will pick Mayweather because of the foolishness of him with the planes, the boats, the yachts, the cars, houses on the east, houses on the west. This generation is different from the old generation, and I'm sorry to say, old dogs don't know new tricks, and they can't get that in their thick fucking skull. They can't. Some dogs know new tricks, and I try to learn. I don't try to just stay stuck on what I think should be, because if you keep thinking that way, time just going by. And by the time I'm 50, I could be 80. What I know now ain't gonna be what I know then. It is what it is. So time always win, like Father Time. You ain't gonna win with Father Time, but you have to find a way to slow his ass down. Remember, it's not the destination, it's the mother effing journey. Because as you get older like me, I'm 50. I ain't trying to get to the destination because I know what the fucking destination is. Whether I die in my sleep or something traumatizing happened to me. Choose one. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all want to go out in your sleep, right? No one want to die in a traumatic and devastation way, right? So all I'm saying is, when I hear every time somebody accomplished something like Terrance Crawford, now I got Terrance Crawford beaten, just like Coach Malachi said, and I love Coach Malachi because when he said this, I thought it. No new thought under the sun. And he said, man, I got Terrance Crawford beating Money Mayweather every day, twice on Sunday, right? But Floyd, man, Pretty Boy Floyd, it's a different story. He got Pretty Boy Floyd beating Terrance Crawford at 135. 135 at that weight division. But there's two different Floyds. And I also believe that I feel that Crawford will put a whipping on that boy's ass. Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather. And the accomplishments. See, that's why you hear people, it's like, example, Manny Pacquiao had a better boxing career than Floyd. Now, that's my opinion. Even though Floyd beat Manny Pacquiao. And then people will say, well, Manny Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, blah, blah, blah. Floyd decided to run up on him and blah, blah, blah. And Floyd, he picks him when he chooses them. And hey, man, it is what it is, man. Because I say if Floyd and Manny Pacquiao fought 5 times, when before Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez, and at an early age, we would have saw saga. We would have saw maybe 3 or 4 times. And then Mayweather would have lost, but Mayweather probably like, okay, I know what I got to do. And then beat Manny Pacquiao. And then we'll have a 3rd fight, and then maybe Manny Pacquiao will win. But most likely, if Mayweather think and figure out, because he's a defensive wizard. He's a defensive wizard. As much as I like Manny Pacquiao, and I love that he's teaching Shakur Stevenson. Shakur, soak all that shit up. Soak it all up. Because you on that same defensive wizardness, and if the more you get, and it's repetition in your brain, and even if you know it and you hear it again, that's all. It's like repetition with your hands, repetition with your brain. The more you hear it, the more you master it. Yeah, come over here. I'll teach you something. I'm learning. In the meantime, I'm learning. But, man, I'm telling you, the casuals are more than the boxing fanatics. And you ask anybody, the majority going to say TBE. When I die, when my father died, or when I die out, this is the level of bullshit we're going to hear. But we know the real deal. And anybody that's a casual that turns into a boxing fanatic, they have to do their research. That's the key word, research. Because time will make you feel like you in Bizarro and Twilight Zone. When you stuck in that 50-year-old and you like, God damn, what are these niggas can't see what I see? So Floyd wants to talk about his accomplishments, but I'll give this to Coach Malachi too, because he said this that really just got me like, yeah, man, yeah. Listen to what Coach Malachi said.
I had a guy trying to argue me with that. Yeah, man, Floyd won more belts than anybody. Yeah, because they had 25 belts when he was boxing. True. Everybody and their mama got a belt right now. Blue City's got a belt. Virgil Ortiz got a belt. PapaJohn.com got a belt. Doggo Hog Head Cheese got a belt. Chico Stick got a belt. This era right here, everybody and their mama got a belt. Nephew Kid Austin got a belt. Doggo Teofimo Lopez got a belt. Like everybody got a belt now. They only had one belt. And then eventually they end up getting 2. You got dog, like, come on. Like, what we doing here? Everybody got a belt. Tank Davis got a belt. You fought in the era where he won 25 WBC belts. WBC was creating belts for Floyd Mayweather. Like, let's be real. What we talking about? So you saying that, okay, he won the most belts, that means he was the best of all time because he won more belts when they was creating belts for Floyd? That's what we doing here now. Or we just gonna forget that the WBC went creating belts for Floyd? Come on, man. True. And he still ain't saying nothing about really Crawford and Spence.
Everybody got a belt. Rolly Romero got a belt. Yo, but it's true. So, you know why I do this, man? I like to put brothers on my video because it's entertainment, but also it's really educational purpose only. And he's saying it on his channel. But if nobody's watching his channel and somebody watching my channel, guess what? I could direct you to that man's channel, whether I like him or not. Whatever who it is. Because this is about education. And if you want boxing fanatics to become, if you want casuals to become boxing fanatics, well, you got to spread the word. You know, they say, spread the word. You hear them say, spread the gospel. You might hear it once from this person, but that same person regurgitated 20 times over here. And that one over there, and that one over there. I learn. So, regardless if it's Blue Blood, Best, Knockout, Rebel, Free Illa, Mac Mob, Bruce Vane, Red Cardinal, Knockout, Big Knock, Knockout, Nocturnal Thoughts, who else? It doesn't matter, whoever it is. If they spreading good or bad, because like I said, if you're doing some bad shit, I'm going to show you an example. But you showing some good shit on my channel, I ain't got no hate. I might not have all the numbers these other brothers do, but guess what? This is boxing talk. This is boxing talk. And sometimes you might hear from this dude, and you might not like his face and his voice, and you might like hearing from me. You might like my swag. You might not like it. So I don't care how people feel about how I move. I move in good intentions, but you might see it in bad intentions. But I move in good intentions, man. Listen, let me get up in this gym before I get lazy and decide not to and do my around the world today. I'm doing around the world today. I haven't been in the gym for 2 weeks. I got to get this in, and I'm trying to do everything. And like I said, I still got this victory video for Crawford, and I'm hoping to do something that no one's seen before, and I'm trying to master it. And like I say, I record all mistakes. Man. But we still go at it, you know what I'm saying? So let me get in here and do what I gotta do and practice and try to get my muscles and, you know, everything in cardio, whatever, everything at the one time. I'm out. Yo, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between get it together, between your lines. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. And remember, if you're a casual and you're looking at this, I might make you a boxing fanatic if you go at the right videos. Because there's a lot of videos out there, propaganda. But you can always remember this. You can listen to them and you can listen to us. It is what it is. Yo, I'm out. Peace.